Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. If you're happen to be logging in on the replay, go ahead, do us a quick favor. Go ahead and hit that hashtag replay. We love all of you who hop on and watch the replay. We appreciate you guys, and we do reply to you guys' comments. Okay. If you happen to be tuning in live, I see a couple of you just rolled on in. Do me a quick favor. Type in one in the chat. I want to make sure you guys can see and hear me clearly. So do me a favor. That will help me out so much because I have done that before where I went live, hit that live button, and I was talking and carrying on, and it was no sound. And I don't want that to happen again. So go ahead and type in one in the chat. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, my name is Leticia Campbell, and I'm an amazing mother of five beautiful children. I've been a full-time entrepreneur. August will make 9 full years, almost 10 years, guys. And I truly, truly love and enjoy it. And I'm super excited about today's conversation. My guest and co host is going to be hopping on in just a second. And we're going to be diving into the three things you should never say to your dreamy client or your potential dreamy client or customer. Okay. It is definitely going to help you, particularly with your emails, guys. So we're going to dive into this conversation as soon as my guest hops on. But again, those of you who are hopping on and logging on and signing on, type in one in the chat. I got my producer in the chat in the comments. Hey, Therese, I see you guys. I see you down there, sis. Therese is actually going to help me today with the show, as always. She's going to be bringing up you guys' comments, dropping links or what have you. So this is going to be an amazing conversation, and we definitely want you guys to be interactive and active in the chat there because your opinion and your comments do matter. So you definitely want to comment there, right? Today was an awesome day, guys. Y'all let me know in the chat, how has your day been so far? Today was absolutely amazing despite what's going on in the world, guys. I think it's very important that we stay focused on our goals, our dreams, our aspirations, and all the things because it does help us to evolve and grow in all the things. And as a mother of five, I totally get it. There's so many distractions out there, and a lot of times we miss the mark, right? We miss the mark, but we're going to help you guys to get back to it. So one of your main struggles is not knowing what to say, right? Type in me in the chat. You really don't know what to say that's going to get people to say, okay, I'm ready to buy with you. I'm ready to work with you and all the things, right? So we're going to definitely help you guys out with that today, okay, on this lovely, lovely, lovely afternoon to get you guys, help you guys out with knowing what you should never say. It's always good to start with what you should never say. So as you guys are rolling on in, say hello. Let me get some comments in here. I want to make sure that my comments are working. I see you guys hopping on Facebook here, but let me go. Somebody put a chat, something in the chat, so I know that comments are working good. And we're going to be diving into this conversation in just a second. If you haven't done so already, if you haven't purchased your ticket yet, okay, for our Evolution Tour, our Your Brand, Your Breakthrough Evolution Tour. Let me slow down a little bit because I'm getting so excited, and y'all know how I am. When I get excited, okay, I start talking fast and I miss things, okay? If you haven't done so already, okay, make sure you go ahead and grab your ticket. Thank you, Therese, for our Evolution Tour. We're going to be in 4 cities, guys. Okay. We're going to be in New York, Maryland, Texas, and Georgia. Okay. So make sure that you grab your ticket right away. All right. Yes, it's pretty early, but we will be closing out registration. We don't know when we're going to do it, but if we do it, guys, I'm letting y'all know right now. This is not going to be open for a long time. Okay. So you want to go ahead, you can grab your in-person ticket, you can grab your live stream ticket. And the live stream tickets, y'all, the live stream tickets are gonna go away sooner than the in person. Okay. Because at first I was like, I don't want to do live stream ticket, what have you. I want people to be in the room. But I understand because we're only hitting the East Coast, not so much the West Coast. For those of you on the West Coast or if you're on the East Coast and you can't make any of the dates, definitely go ahead and grab your live stream ticket. You're going to get even more of a breakthrough as well, just as the people who are going to be coming in person. But the link to go to is bit.ly/YB tour. Okay. YB tour. You want to go ahead and hit that link there and go ahead and purchase your either your in-person ticket or you want to purchase your live stream ticket. Those of you who have already purchased a ticket, bring a guest. Hey, LaShawn! Yes, congratulations to LaShawn. She actually got her ticket yesterday. So congratulations to her. Shout out to LaShawn. Janine, Shoshana, Deborah, Michelle, and if I missed your name, I'm sorry. Okay, definitely, guys. Appreciate you guys and congratulations on leveling up. But for those of you who have not grabbed your ticket yet, again, bit.ly/YV tour. That's the link to go ahead and purchase and grab your ticket. If you already grabbed your ticket, bring a friend. We have had some people who reached out and wanted to visit all cities, all four cities, right? Okay. Definitely reach out again because we have something special for those of you who want to travel along with us for each and every single city. Okay. So again, definitely make sure that you go ahead and do that. Okay. Again, we're going to be in New York. We're going to be in Maryland. We're going to be in Georgia. And we're also going to be in Texas. You definitely don't want to miss out on this event. Okay. Myself and Miyoko, this is a joint venture and this has been months and months and months in planning. And I'm telling you guys right now, this is definitely going to be the number one place you need to be at for this year. Okay. Definitely want to be the number one place you're going to be at. All right. So let me just do one more quick sound check, guys, because it says that my internet connection is not good. So if you can see and hear me clearly, ladies, go ahead and type in one in the chat. Go ahead and type in one in the chat. That lets me know that my sound is good. That lets me know that my video is good. So go ahead and type in one in chat. For those of you who are new, you just hopped on, whether you've been this was shared with you. My name is Leticia Campbell. I call myself the number one email marketing strategist. Thank you so much, LaShawn. I've been a full-time entrepreneur for almost 9 years now, and I've traveled all over the world helping women secure the bag through email marketing. My co-host, who's just about to hop on in just a second, he is your personal branding strategist. He's going to get yourself together with your brand, help you to be more authentic, right? So you can really create a brand that you enjoy most and that you don't dread, right? So we're going to talk about an awesome topic on today. 3 things you should never say that you should never say to your dreamy client. Can y'all put this in the chat real quick? Type in some things in the chat that you think that you shouldn't say. I want to quiz y'all. Type in something, and no answer is wrong, right? What are some things that you should never say to your dreamy customer or client? Maybe those are things that you have been told yourself. Somebody has tried to sell something to you, and you was told yourself those words or what have you. What have you been told, right, by business, right? That you were like, that don't work for me. Go ahead and share in the chat, y'all. Go ahead and share in the chat. And for those of you who just hopped on, go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat. Uh, and so that we know that you are in the room. So we know that you are in the room. Okay. And we're gonna go ahead and get started because I'm interested to see and hear what you guys have to say. What are some things that you feel that you should never say to a dreamy customer or client? Or what are some things that you have probably been told yourself, right? So while you guys are thinking of that, I'm going to go into my first point. Okay, our first point for today. Oh, we already put that up. Sorry, Therese. My first point for today is the top 3 phrases that repels your audience, that makes people say, I don't think so, right? Let's share some things, okay? Oh, my guests came on. My co-hosts came on. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We just got into the first topic. Go ahead and bring them up, Therese. Yes, y'all. Good. You came in at the right time. Hey, Ryoko, how you doing, love?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So we just dived into the first talking point, which is the top 3 phrases that propels your audience. The top 3 phrases that propels your audience. And I don't mind giving. I asked everybody in the chat just now, what are some things that they have been told by businesses that repelled them? Way, Shoshana, that repelled them away from buying. I could think of one, and I wrote this down, right? I wrote this down. I can think of one that I feel like is like a repeller when like people say or email or text, hey, just checking in, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit of a repeller for me. You know, it's sort of like if I don't really know you yet, if we haven't started a conversation yet, I'm just talking about early on in the sales process, right?
Right.
I'm super cold to you, or you may be super cold to that particular person, and it's like I'm just checking in. Checking in on what? Right? That's just one thing for me. But what do you think, Miyoko?
Give me just a second,
Go
guys.
right ahead. Go right ahead. So y'all let me know in the chat. What do y'all think? What are some of those words that you were told or have been told recently, right? That propelled you away from buying, that repelled you away from buying, right? I could think of another word, or like sometimes people would send you a message, right? Or send you an email, right? And they'll be like, oh, like not last chance, but what is something I got the other day? Um, trying to think of what it was. Oh my God, it just slipped my mind. Oh, I hope I'm not bothering you. Hope I'm not bothering you. I'm like, what? I don't know you. What do you mean you're not bothering me? Now you're bothering me, right? Little
Right,
things like that, guys.
right.
Like y'all share in the chat some of the things that y'all have saw in the subject line or gotten the
Ah,
attention
this
of
is a good
somebody.
one. This is a good one.
Yes,
So,
yes. Go
so
ahead.
what do some people already have down there?
Well, nobody's putting anything down yet, but while they're thinking of some words, yes, we're gonna go ahead and be creative. Absolutely. How about you, Miyoko? What are some of the things that you have been emailed or texted that you're like,
Man. Um, I think for me, I think I can respect somebody that's going to pitch me at some point. I think for me, when it says when they ask me who am I, like are you a coach or are you a um, construction builder? Are you some type of professional? And the professional is nothing that says anything about my bio. I think that's a turnoff for me. Um, but we're talking about the top three phrases. I think for me is, hey, do you have a minute? When somebody says, hey, do you have a minute? I don't know you. Hey,
yes,
do you have a minute?
yes, yes.
Yeah. I have several minutes, but why would I want to spend a minute on you? Do you have a minute?
But knowing that what they're going to share with you is not going to be a minute.
Right, right. It's not genuine, but it's I think what it is it's the lack of real genuine upfront down to earth communication.
Right,
Like for me, if I'm going to approach somebody, I'm gonna probably mention something that I've noticed on their post or their profile, and I've actually really engaged with that particular individual. I'm not just reaching out to them just to try to sell them something.
right,
Um, Albeit I may be looking at them as a potential prospect, but I genuinely want to know more about them. So
right.
for me, it's any buzzword that lets me know that just you're scripted.
Mm, mm,
Like scripted phrases like pardon me, do you have a minute? Um, hey Miyoko, if I were to share something with you, you've already I've already shifted my attention.
right,
If I were to share something, what are you going to share?
right, right.
So it's phrases like that for me. Pardon me, do you
Yeah,
have a minute? If I
right,
were to share something with you,
right.
or we are the top blank.
Yeah. Oh my God, you saw Shoshana's comment. She said so many like wouldn't you? You seem like
Ah,
what are you waiting for? The
you
words
seem
are
like
so
it's a good
bad.
one.
Right, right. And just piggyback on Shoshana, Miyoko and I were talking about, the insurance industry. I know Shoshana, you're a part of that insurance industry. And with that industry alone, right? Because Miyoko and I are both licensed, you get those scripts. They give you all these scripts, like, hey, and it's not doesn't give you a room to be yourself, unique, all
Right,
those things. And people know they're being scripted.
right.
They know they're being scripted. I know we talked about that before. I know Shoshana's experienced that as well.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You seem like, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
What are you waiting
Yeah.
for? It just annoys me.
Oh, this is annoying. LaShawn said, put in my name first, put in my first name in the subject line and nothing else. Then a sales pitch in the email.
Yes, yes. We all get those,
I get
especially
those
in
all the time.
emails, especially in emails.
Yes, yes, absolutely. They'll put your
Oh,
first name in there or dot dot after your first name. Go
I,
ahead.
I'll tell you one that annoys me. Time is running out.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's not.
Excuse me. Time is
Right.
running out.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then you tell me time is running out 3 days later.
3 days later, right? And I
And
know
then,
that we gotta create content that is what has a sense of urgency. I
correct.
get that. Those of you who are watching, I get that. You wanna. this term somebody once told me, massive action. You want to have, create that content that gets people to take massive action, right?
Mhm.
But again, you don't want to get to the point where you repel people, right? You don't want to get to the point. And some of those, and the reason why, guys, we're not telling you guys what to say, what not to say. We're all grown. It's your life. But some of these phrases put your emails in spam. Put
Right.
your even if you're doing, SMS, text message marketing, that can put you in spam too. That could put you on the spam list as well. How many of y'all have gotten text and y'all have a whole folder that's like a potential spam folder? Same thing, right? Right.
I got one more. Just one more.
Go ahead.
Act now before it's too late.
Before it's too late. Yeah. Yeah. Get that out of your copy. Get that out of your copy. Yes, gotta get creative. Yeah. You have another one?
You you never want to use these. First of all, you never want to use these terms if you're not being genuine.
Yeah.
Don't tell someone to act now before it's too late, and too late never comes.
Too late never comes.
Now
Yeah.
I can see if you have something in your copy where it says time is running out, 24 hours left. Like I
Mm,
had this it was this one school community that I really wanted to kind of get to know
uh-huh.
because the guy had some really good content.
Hmm.
And he said if you do not consume this content in the
Right.
next 5 days, you will be permanently banned
Oh my God.
school community.
Permanently banned.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Because it shows that you're not, you're not somebody an action taker, whatever he said. So I'm like, listen, I got things to do. But
Mm-hmm.
what his content was good. I went back to look at his content, and lo and behold, I could not get in there.
You can't get in. Yeah.
I did not. He was true to his word. He was true
Yeah.
to his word.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have any more access to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're gonna have some type of things like before it's too late, 24 hours left, make sure you live up to it. This guy lived up to it. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, he's one of the first people I ever seen that actually lived up to what he was saying.
Right. Be
So
of your word.
don't use it unless it's really like part of your brand and you really meaning what you say and saying what you mean.
That's right. That makes sense. Don't just say it because it's something that good to you. Just something you should just say. I totally get
Shoshana is funny.
it. She does that though. She sends me screenshots and everything. It's crazy.
uh,
She
she said
does
the
that.
next time I get one of those icky email messages, I'm
Yep.
sending them to the link to the email marketing program.
She's of her word and she will do that and does do that. Right. Right. There was a camera shop in my city. They were always going out. Always, yes. You know, all those. Oh my gosh, Shoshana.
Leticia,
Beauty
Leticia,
stores do it. Oh my God, so many
you,
stores do
you
that.
know who I'm thinking about, right? We're not gonna say it. We're not
No,
gonna
I'm
say
not
the
gonna say it.
name.
I'm
We're
not gonna
not gonna
say
say the name.
it.
But I'm telling you,
Yes.
there's a couple of people out there, y'all, that we know of that
Mhm.
said they were closing up shop, closing up
Yep.
their coaching business,
Retiring. All the
retiring, all
businesses.
that
They're
stuff,
still out there.
and they've been retiring for the last 3 years.
Always doing that. That's their thing. They retire and then they make up some excuse and then they go back to I'm retiring or I'm closing shop or I'm ending this, whatever. Permanent bands, let them help you. Yep,
That's
that's
right.
right. That's right. And I still don't know why people do that. I mean, that to me doesn't make sense how that can be a marketing tool to get more people to say, "Hey, I'm interested in what you have to offer." I don't know if they're trying to create some sense of exclusivity or leverage or whatnot. It just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
All right, so let's dive into the next point. And I'm sorry, you wanted to say something?
Oh
No.
no, because I know I was a little late. Forgive me. Um, StreamYard and me, we have a very interesting relationship.
Yes, yes.
But I know
Shout
you're
out to
talking
StreamYard.
about
I love
I know
you.
you're talking about three phrases. We can actually go in on all that.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut. We're going to go into the emails not getting open, and I may
Yep.
kind of interject some of the first part too. So you
Yes,
go ahead.
this is my wheelhouse, and I love to talk about this, guys. So, some major things that aren't getting your emails open. Those of you who struggle with that, go ahead and give me a two in the chat. I would say number one is definitely your subject line. That's like the first. You have to think of your
Mhm.
subject line as like your storefront. If you
Right,
own a store, you want to make sure your merchandise is pretty, everything looks great, and it catches people eye. I think that's the first thing. If your subject line is not noticeable, okay, definitely that's the reason why people are not opening your emails. People are like, well, what's the number one thing I got to solve with my emails? First, get them open. Okay. That's always the first thing is creating those compelling subject lines. that get people to open your email. The second thing I would have to say is your timing, right? You always say that timing is everything. Depending upon what type of audience you have, if you're trying to target people who are career women and they're corporate women and whatnot, send them an email at what, 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock or even 2 o'clock, during the day. They're busy. They're not going to look at it. They're not going to open it. You got to find those times where they are actually in that inbox, okay, and actually or corresponding, via email. The last thing is your tone. Your tone. I think your tone is most important. What type of tone are you conveying in that email that's going to say, okay, that's going to get people to propel away, make people propel away from taking action, or say, hey, I need what it is you have to offer. I need to lean in and learn more about what you have to offer. So yes, tone is everything. How many of y'all like, and I'm this way too, I know Miyoko and I can laugh. I'd rather talk to you over the phone, especially when it's something serious, so I can hear your voice and get your tone of what you're saying. So I don't assume things. It's the same thing with your email. People are going to assume. You don't want them to assume what you're saying. You want them to know off the bat, like this is what it is. I call it the STT, right? STT, which is subject line, timing, tone, right? Those are things that are important that you have to master, right, in order to get that open rate up.
So you
What do you
said number one, like you said, the first thing was like the subject
The
line, right?
subject line, yeah.
So what are some things that you do not want to put in a subject line? Because I know this
Just
is your area.
yeah, just like what what was it? Sean said, just putting the person's name, and nothing else,
Mhm.
you know, putting things like what you said, do you have a minute? Putting things like, this is you're going to get blocked, right? If they're not actually going to get blocked,
Right,
or
right,
this is my last email to you,
right.
right? And it's not the last email to you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have, you got to be direct, but also you have to understand that certain, especially in this era we're in, words is everything.
Hmm.
Words is everything. Tone is everything. Timing is everything. All those things are important. Okay. So it's so many other systems behind that, like ways you can say, send out automated reminders and things like that. But that's a little bit more deeper. Y'all got to come to the tour to get those nuggets. But definitely when it comes to that subject line, though, that what I just said is very important to increase your open rate.
I
Hmm.
also I also would just want to add when it comes to tone, you have to know what the tone of your audience is.
Yes.
Everybody's tone is different. Uh,
Hmm.
just for example, most people know who Gary Vaynerchuk is. Like
Hmm.
his tone is very brash but caring,
Hmm.
but very entrepreneurial. You
Hmm.
can't have that same tone with every type of audience
Hmm.
because there's an audience that thinks he's absolutely disgusting, and there's an
Right.
audience that thinks he's absolutely wonderful.
Right.
So you got to know which tone works for your audience. So I just kind
Right.
of want to point that out because that's very, very big with branding.
Hmm.
You may say I have a very stern teacher type authoritative tone, and that's what I
Hmm.
like, but that may not connect with your audience.
It may not. Yeah.
So
I could.
you got to figure out what tone your audience wants and what connects to them and what they can most relate to also. So don't
That's
forget
right.
that.
Yeah, I mean, even I can think of like Grant Cardone. His tone is very direct. I mean, I'm pretty sure he gets a lot of people unsubscribed from his emails, but there's a lot of people that are interested in that tone because
Right.
he knows his audience, right? So I love that you said that, Miyoko. You got to know your audience tone and what they pick up on and what
Absolutely.
turns them off too. What piques emotion out of them, right? The timing of the year, the timing of the day, the timing of the month, all those things, you got to put all those things into your strategy.
Right.
Okay. That's very, very important.
Email's a
Uh,
conversation. Email's a
It,
conversation.
it is. It definitely is. It definitely is. It's like when you're at work, how your boss, approaches you in the morning matters. The tone, the
Right.
body language, all
Good
those things.
analogy. Good analogy.
So think about that, y'all. Really, really think about it and consider that. All right, last point for today is how to shift your message so your dream client says yes without hesitation, right? How many times
Mm.
people are interested in what you have to offer, but they have those hesitations, and sometimes those hesitations can be just minor, just sort of like limiting beliefs within themselves. And once you get on a conversation with them, you'll get through that. But what do you think about this point about how to get people to say, okay, yes, get them to shift from being hesitant to saying, okay, I'm ready.
You said the magic words. You said
Hmm.
shift. So I would say first and foremost, what I try to do, and it works very, very, very well,
Hmm.
is when you shift a common perception
Mhm.
or belief that they
Right.
have about what it is that you help them solve,
Mhm.
that is almost magical.
Yes, it
So
is.
let me give you an example. Most people think that Coca-Cola is a personal brand or Pepsi is a personal brand,
Right.
but they're not.
No.
And here's why. What I did is I made you think, if you think that Coca-Cola or Pepsi or is a personal brand, you're gonna be like, that is a personal brand.
Mhm.
I just told you it's not. So like, so what is this guy talking about?
Right.
So basically, my perception of personal branding is off.
Right.
So then I explain and I start to go into why Pepsi and Coca-Cola is not a personal brand. I may have some type of powerful statistic or an example that shows that pretty much further supports my point
Mhm.
that the way you believe about personal branding is not the way personal branding really is.
Mhm.
Now, what that does is it shifts me from now being to, oh, who's Miyoko to, man, this guy really knows what he's talking about in regards to personal branding. He changed my thought process on something that I knew. Subconsciously, psychologically, now you're going to start to think, this is somebody that I need to listen to.
Mhm.
So now I start to attract your attention. So first and foremost, in your business, whatever it is that you do, figure out what are some common misconceptions that people have when it comes to the service that you offer,
Mhm.
how they feel about something.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'll give you another example, right? I'll use the health and fitness, just to give you guys some value here. Just use the health and fitness industry, right?
Right.
Most people think the most important part to losing weight is the actual physical activity,
Mm.
but that's not the case.
No, it's not.
Let me explain. Does everybody see what I did there?
Yeah.
Most people think,
Mhm.
you may have been taught that,
Right.
everyone does this,
Mhm.
but this is not the way that it's done. So I'm shifting a belief. I'm shifting some type of statement or belief you have about something.
Mhm.
So now that immediately gets your attention because now I'm going against your belief now.
Right.
So back to the weight loss example, right? Most people think that losing weight has the most to do with physical activity, but that's not the case. Here's why.
Right.
And I may go into how your mindset is even more important,
Mhm.
which is why people this is why people stop dieting. This is why people stop exercising. This is why this happens. So now you're like, man, he's right. He's
Right.
making a point. It's way more than physical activity.
Mhm.
So as a result, you start to listen to me because now it's just like this guy is giving me a perspective that I never had.
Mhm.
It kind of makes me want to look up to the guy
Mhm.
or the
Mhm.
woman. Like I want to follow them. I want to see more about what they're saying about this thing.
Mhm.
So this to get a client to say yes, you've gotta shift some type of perspective or
Mhm.
belief that they have. Now, of course, when you shift a belief, it has to make sense.
Yes. Yes.
You don't want to shift a belief to something that makes absolutely no sense.
Mhm.
That's
Correct.
not how it works.
Correct.
What I'm saying actually makes sense. It's been proven.
Mhm.
So it has to be something like that, something they haven't heard before.
Mhm.
It can't be the same thing. So that's one of the first steps. So having something that shifts a belief.
Mhm.
Secondly, having a clear methodology. That's something that you have to have. They have to see where, okay, this is step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mhm.
Very simplistic.
Mhm.
I may not know how to implement this, but I understand how you're going to get me there now.
That's right.
So now it brings that confidence. And I probably should have said this last one second. They have to know that you can clearly identify and understand their problem,
Right. Right.
right?
Clearly.
So shift their perspective, shift a belief they have about something,
Mhm.
identify the problem or problems, really, really dive into like how they're feeling. And we kind of talked about this before, how they're feeling, what they're going through,
Mhm.
what it's costing them, and then say, I have the solution. Don't just tell them you have the solution. Share the methodology. This is part of one of the process, part two of the process, part
Mhm.
three of the process, part four.
Right.
This is what's going to get you here. Don't be afraid to do that.
Mhm.
Don't be afraid because the more they understand, the more clear it is. It's like, oh my God, I want to work with this particular person. So what are the
Right.
next steps?
Right.
I know that Miyoko or Leticia said the first step is self awareness. Using
Mhm.
this as an example,
Right.
first step is self awareness.
Mhm.
The next step is removing limiting beliefs.
Mhm.
The next step is planning your day
Mhm.
one day at a time.
Yep.
The next step is choosing your gift or your skill and
Right.
how you want to show up for your whatever it is. It's a clear step. It's a methodology. Boom, 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 boom. And when
Mhm.
they understand that, it's like, oh, there's no more confusion. Now, wouldn't you want to work with or say yes to the person that gives you complete clarity on how you got to
Mhm.
how you have to
Yep.
go from where you are now to really where you want to be? Like,
Absolutely.
there's no gray areas.
Nope.
I gave you the exact methodology.
Mhm.
Now
Mhm.
it's just like, okay, how do I do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't do it by myself, so I need you to help me.
Mhm.
So that's why when you get on the phone, and I've said this before, your content and how you position yourself does most of the heavy lifting for you.
Mhm.
If that's not the case, then something in your system is broken.
That's right.
So that's how you get them to say yes without hesitation. You got to cover every single area. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have questions, please put them in the comments.
Mhm.
But it's that simple.
It is. It
We
is.
don't do the simple.
Yes.
We look at the extravagant and overly complicated things and the things that sound really cool. Then we try to do them. We focus time and energy on them, but we don't do the simple.
Yeah.
We
And
have
when
to
they don't move forward, it's really more our fault as entrepreneurs than it
absolutely
is the person who's watching. But I want to ask you this question. Once you get through all that, don't you agree that however much you're charging for whatever it is that you're offering, isn't it irrelevant? It could be $50 or $50,000.
great point.
Once you get through that, go from hesitation to certainty, whatever you're charging is irrelevant to that client or customer. It's like, okay, because now they're certain that they need you, and they got to move money around or do what they need to do to pay you. It is what it is because now they're certain. They're certain about it. Same thing when you look at a high end bag, a Louis Vuitton bag, a Birkin bag, or a very expensive car. The price is irrelevant. It's the feeling. It's going from being I'm hesitant to buy this to now I'm really certain I want to buy this because it has all those features. It has all these awesome things that I can do with it. So yeah.
If the right market, if you have the right, if you're in the right clientele, if it's in alignment with your product and your services and who you are, even if they've got to put a little bit more skin in the game,
Right.
they're going to find a way.
They're going to find a way.
Find a way.
And when it comes to emails, it's about quality over quantity. Then
Right.
when it comes to the personal branding, it's everything that Miyoko just said, right? Going from hesitation to certainty. And that's going to make you millions of dollars. You're never going to run out of money,
No.
right? Because now you have the system, now you have the strategy, and then you have the execution. And then from there, you be unstoppable, you know? You be unstoppable. That's awesome. Yes. So y'all, if y'all have any questions, even if you're watching this on a replay, go ahead,
Yes.
put it in the chat, right? Let's
Questions.
go.
Questions.
This
No
is
question is a dumb question.
mm,
Every question is the right question.
yes, because no matter what level you're at in your business, I get it. We're all still figuring this out. But once you have it figured out, you can hit the ground running even faster. But sometimes this point here is the blockage from hesitation, getting people from going from hesitation to actually being certain that you are what they need. Especially for those of you who are in industries that there's a lot of people who do what you do. Whether you're an agent, whether you're in direct sales, whether you're a coach or whatever, right? And there's so many people that do what you do. It's like you gotta nail that methodology down
Right. Right.
because that separates you from everybody else. It does, and that's really the key. Is the separation. How can what you do be if it was a whole room full of people who do what you do, how are you going to stand out? I stand out. Miyoko stands out. Therese stands out. Like, how are you going to stand out? You discovering what that strategy is. So I know those of y'all who are quiet, y'all thinking. This is some heavy, I call it high value information, right? High value training, right? It's going to get you guys to really take a pause and just think about it before you run the rest of this quarter just hitting the ground running and doing all those things. And some of y'all missing y'all shot with people. Y'all missing, y'all have so much talent, so much expertise, so much amazing things that you can do to help people, but you're missing that shot. right? You're missing that shot. Just like Teresa said, you better get your ticket. You better get your ticket.
Because these are the things that people really don't think about. They don't.
No.
The industry focuses on so many other different things, and it's not focusing on the conversation and the connection between yourself
Hmm.
and the audience that you should be perfectly aligned with.
That's right.
Like they focus on creating the offer. That's important.
Right.
Focus on all these particular other things when it comes to your business
Right.
or whatever, no matter the profession that you're in, but they don't focus on building the relationship.
That's
There's
right.
so many books on building the relationship, not only just with your client, but with yourself. And
Hmm.
this is why personal branding is such a powerful thing because when you find a way on how to translate that to your audience, I mean, you're talking about consistent leads, people raising their hand, and you just
Hmm.
building a beautiful, beautiful community
That's right.
that is in alignment with your mission, your
Right.
passion,
Right.
what you feel purpose to do. And one of the ways to do that is what we're talking about, email.
Absolutely. And it's like it's we're helping you guys focus more. Yes, the external is important. Yes, it is, right? But the internal, I'm telling you, you got to put 80% of your energy into that. You
That's
know,
the most. That's the
hmm
untapped issue.
it is
I love that you just said that because the focus is always on the external things.
always. Every coach
That's
teaches
that's
that.
the easiest to fix. That's the easiest to fix.
That's so simple. That is crazy. And if you focus more on the internal, you're not going to have to do so much on the external. How
Yeah.
many of y'all see people that you're like, oh my God, they just show up and everything's just easy. They don't gotta do all this these bells and whistles and perfectly branded videos and stuff. They can literally do an ad on a corner of Times Square somewhere, just having a conversation, and that ad literally hits, emails, conversion, everything like that. Because again, it's what is the external that's
They've
been,
built that. They
yeah,
built they built that from the inside out. They built it.
right, right. It's a beautiful feeling. It really is. I wish y'all. I mean, y'all come to the tour, y'all experience that. But even in what I'm going through in my business, with Miyoko's businesses, experiencing that alone helps us so much to scale, so much to where if we raise our prices, it's like okay, it's alignment. Yeah.
Get your ticket.
Mhm.
Get
Mhm.
your ticket.
Yes, definitely be part of this conversation. And we have in person, we have live stream. We're going to be in Texas, Georgia, Maryland, and New York. If you already grab your ticket, type in the chat, I have my ticket, and definitely join us with the whole community of men and women who are really out there leveling up and doing some major things.
Right.
Doing
Be
some
be
major
the
things.
one. Be the one people can't say no to.
Yes.
Say people, I mean your people. I'm not talking general. But be that
Hmm.
person that your people can't say no to. They don't want to say no to.
Right. 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 Be
Like,
that one that also people are going to sit back and get their act together financially, physically, mentally, so that way they can work with you. We're getting y'all to set a standard in your business. This is something that no coach, mentor, or event, conference, retreat ever has required you to do, to sit back and say, I need to set a better standard in my business. I need to set a better standard. And that's so important that you start doing that, especially this year. This is the year to make it happen.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It definitely is. All right. So we appreciate you guys so much for joining us today. If you guys got any value, please make sure you tag someone, share on this broadcast.
Yes, share with
Yes,
everybody.
yes, yes. We love coming on here and sharing these awesome nuggets with you guys. And we're going to end on that note. Thank you so much, Miyoko, for hopping on. Thank you, Therese, for putting up the comments and doing your thing, sis. And we'll see y'all next time.
All
Okay.
right. Till next
All
time,
right.
everybody. Have a great
All
rest
right,
of
guys. Have a
your later.
good one. Bye.